it's not out of disrespect for all of you or for this institution that I didn't apply to be its vice chancellor, even though I agreed to be its deputy vice chancellor. I didn't feel I needed to continue to stay. That's why I didn't apply. But I understand that I'm a candidate by virtue of the procedure that allows for people to be nominated. My contention is that universities exist because of senior academics. Senate, that is the apex organ of any university. The university doesn't rely on the Senate for its whatever. It's not going by the tradition of all the rest is administrative, but this is the core. But that's why I should tell you this. So, well, since the rules allow people to nominate, and they have nominated you, so we'll have to leave it at that. Then I said, okay, fine. But I want another Senate meeting in the next 2 weeks. But the registrar should reproduce the CVs of all the applicants and distribute to all the professors, heads of department. So, but the Senate is represented on the Council Selection Committee. I say, I know. But the Council Selection Committee is not Senate. It's made up of people even from outside the university who don't even know us. So for that, I want another Senate meeting. But the CV of all the candidates should be distributed to all of you. So I did this. And I give you 1 week to study the CVs, and we'll have another Senate meeting.
So your aim is just to make sure this process is transparent? That it's
absolutely.
It's not something that because you're active VC.
Because I'm active VC, I'm trying to corner it, or I'm trying to influence something else and so on. So another week, when the Senate convened, 114 strong. They found there was a ballot box and ballot papers in the middle of the room, because we had not moved to the new building at the time. I say, yes, I may be doing certain things illegally, but to me, this is real consensus of this community, this academic community. The reason why I gave you, I said you should read all the CVs, and today there is a ballot paper here in the box. I want each Senate member to write his first choice out of these 8 candidates and put it in the box. And
what was the result?
They did. They all did. Everybody.
What was the outcome?
Dropped his name. And then I told you the chief returning officer to get in and count with his assistants. And they did. We counted. The votes came, say here we're ready to announce the votes. I said, go ahead and announce. Ango Abdullahi, 74. The next person, to me, Professor Umaru Gomwok, 18. Abokanina, so Professor Musa, Sulekumo, Professor Nuru, Professor Ledeno, so.
You're all on the
5, 6, 7, 8.
But Prof.
Then I knew. Then I knew.
Yes.
This is their choice.
You had the support of your colleagues.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I'm first among equals.
Yes. I still want to remind you that you still had a difficult tenure as VC. in spite of this support. Am I right to say so?
No, we didn't have. We didn't have a difficult because my approach to administrative job,
Yes.
whether it is in the university or outside, is stick to the law,
Yeah.
stick to the rules, the regulations.
Yeah. But some of us consuming, because then we are all young students, we were aware of controversy between you and Bala Usman about
Bala
professorship.
Usman, in fact, may his soul rest in peace, he
Yes.
was the commander-in-chief of my being VC. Of
Okay,
ABU.
so he supported you.
So, more than supported me, he was the one who insisted
Yes.
that they wanted nobody else.
But how come you fell out later?
No, it was very simple politics between him and his other academic colleagues. He did not get along well with Ibrahim Tahir. He didn't get along well with Professor Odekule, Femi Odekule.
Yes.
Then there was an incident in the department of Femi Odekule, where one of his very key boys, because we used to say Bala Usman boys, and so was a member of staff in Femi Odekule's department,
Sociology.
sociology. Nobody is whether it's fair to mention your name. He's a professor now himself. Femi Odekule had died some months ago. The head of the department reported to me that XYZ had done XYZ. I said a small committee should be set up to confirm yes or no whether there was an infraction on allegations and so on. And they did. I reported, confirmed that the head of the department was right. So I said the head of the department was right for him to punish his staff. That was the beginning of
So
this.
Bala didn't like, Bala Usman didn't like
exactly.
that. But he was complaining about professorships,
No,
how professorships your own, and how his own, he didn't want it. So this is what we go.
No. This is what people who didn't quite understand the university system. I was one of those directors who refused to be redesignated. Most of the directors and my colleague, Director Institute, Director NAPRI, Professor Sekanuru, Director College of Colleges of Agriculture and so, they all said they wanted to be redesignated professors. And this is the power of the council to do it. The qualifications are the same. The procedure for them to be directors all is the same as that of any professor, and so on. So, and that's why I challenged them. Why did they even get my CV? They said, it doesn't matter, we got your CV because your last promotion of principal research fellow went through the procedure. So it's a matter of resignation. And in any case, the council has always the power to appoint to XYZ with or without assessment or something. In the case of fresh people coming into the university, there are those who come qualified. So this is qualified to be professor without an external assessment and so on. Let alone those who are internal members. So many of my colleagues asked for redesignation and they got it. And I refused to. I said, no, I'm a research fellow in the Institute for Agricultural Research. I don't need any...
But you are made a professor all the same, right?
Oh, no, the council, I was not even in when they did the redesignation in the council appointments and promotions committee where the chairman of council was chairman.
Yeah.
So they instructed the registrar to say that the active VC had been redesignated as professor of agronomy. Finish.
Yeah. So, but this thing between you and Bala, it is sort of...
Well, friends, very,
yes.
very close friends. Very close friends. And it is just the politics between him and his arch rival, Professor Femi Olekule, and later Ibrahim Tahir, who eventually left Ali and went into politics. They didn't quite agree. That's it. But we remain very, 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 very close. So no, we don't want these fundamentalists to come and be our VC.
Yes.
So,
who was the fundamentalist? You?
no, they didn't want to see. I don't want to mention
Yes,
names.
I understand now.
You are more liberal. You come and this sort of thing. This sort.
How did you enter the Obasanjo government? You are a special advisor. So I want you to. How did you enter and why did you leave? It looks like you entered and then left quickly.
In the first place, the question should have been, how did you come into politics? When I retired from ABU in 1987, in fact, they asked me to come and take my 2-year sabbatical, which is my entitlement after 8 years in office. I said, no, I'm in a hurry. I want to go back to the practical profession that I know, agriculture. So I told Professor Nayaya that I have waived my entitlement for sabbatical leave. Feel free. And I don't want any monetary compensation on it. So I left. And the came started our business, agricultural business. Sometime we started poultry with my late senator friend. And then later on with Wazir in Kasina, Hamza Zayad, we went into agro business. We established our first bakery in Kaduna, Capital Foods, and then later in Zaria here, and then later in Katsina, and so on and so on. So my intention was simply to come and
do agribusiness.
One day I came back from the farm and I found on a table, one of the tables here, forms for me to fill, for me to go to a constitutional conference in 1987. The one organized by the transition program of President Babangida. I asked the boys who brought this Sekyu Megan. You probably Dahiru Megan. I always spend my Maghrib period in his office nearby, and say more cacao forms for you to fill because we want you to attend this constitutional conference on behalf of one of our constituencies. I said, no, I'm not interested in this. So no, you have to be interested. I said, okay, if you have to be interested, me, I'm not going to go into contest for this particular assignment. If you want me to go, then tell others that I will go on behalf of this zone or this constituency. Finish. I know it's a democracy, but I'm not dictating my terms. But I'm just saying that. So they all asked others to drop out. They did. Not too long after, late General Eradua went to see my brother in the village. But my brother is no very, very hard person. He's very hard on Mboko. Nima kaina kullum shan wuya nake a hannunsa. So went and said he came to the village. He heard that I'm reluctant to even come to constitutional conference. He had some thoughts about the future of Nigeria, And he wants to get people of like minds to begin to think of what to do for Nigeria's future. That's why he came to the village to seek the support of my family, particularly my brother, who is in social political activities. My brother questioned him. He came and reported back to me that he had gone to the village. He had a hard time with my brother. I said, why didn't you seek my advice before you went? Because I would have stopped you from going there. Anyway, eventually, Shaw caught me and said that he has retired from the army and he saw what the country was as chief of staff and so on. Something has to be done about the future of this country. And we need to put heads together. I have just finished my assignment in Zaria ABU. Could I agree to come into small discussions and see in what way we can perhaps face the political future of this country?
So this is the People's Front.
Sure.
Yes.
That's how, really. And so the starting point will be for all of us, like minds. He has selected quite a number of people from all over the country, from all political formations, but mainly from the radical side of PRP and so on that he took. And he said we should all go to the Constitutional Conference. And we agree with that. That was the beginning.
Yeah. But take me to the Obasanjo years.
Okay, well,
Yes.
the Obasanjo years, of course, Obasanjo was very close to Shehu. They also worked together in government. Very close. From time to time, we saw them together. We never knew what military or other relationships were. And when finally we formed political association, before we finished the conference, we formed People's Front of Nigeria, PF, and I was the first national chairman. It was launched in Lagos with Tita Janaku as the first national secretary. But the soldiers didn't give us registration. They decided that none of the groups would be registered. They formed
the two parties.
A little to the left, a little to the right. A little to the left is SDP. A little to the right is NRC. And we debated in our group and we decided we should go a little to the left. Yeah, and that's why we went to SDP, our group. Eventually we took over the party. But we didn't know all along that Shehu's relationship with his former military colleagues, Liu Gusau, Bangida, all the rest of them, we wouldn't know because we were not military people. We didn't know that. I personally didn't know much about the relationship. So we finished, but there must have been something that was linking them up and so on. It looked to me at that time, each time Shehu wanted to do something, there was some level of consultation between him and his former military colleagues, particularly Aliyu Gusau and Babangida, and Obasanjo. So that's how Obasanjo first met me when he was chief of staff. You know, some of you may not recall that I was commissioner in Abakari's military government here in North Central State. And when we were sacked, and after the coup, were subjected to an inquiry. In Lugard Hall, where Namuke ake shanya mu a rana, ana inquiry and so on. So, one morning there was a signal at the police station near IR Institute that I was wanted in Lagos. I said, my crime has gone beyond Kaduna and it's now gone to Lagos.
Yes.
So my director said, just pick your bag and go to Lagos. I went. So I should go to the office of Chief of Staff. Basanjo then was Chief of Staff of Murtada. Started shouting, well, we've been looking for you. We've been looking for you. And I said, I'm in Samaru. And in any case, you people don't seem to realize that I was a commissioner in Abakari's government. And there is an inquiry going on about the governors and their commissioners and so on. I'm one of them. So my crime has now brought me to Lagos. He said, no. We're looking for you to do an assignment. What assignment? Your colleagues have already been to Benin. You have to join them there. I said, what assignment is this? He said, we have selected some people to go and investigate the agricultural activities or the farms of some former governors, Audu Bago and Ogunwudia. Believe me. So they stopped the plane that took me to Benin. And anyway, that's
how
now
you met
my first link.
Yes.
How
did you go into his government?
Now,
this was a PDP government.
How I went into his government was simply when politics of the Nigerian variety took us to the position that we were looking for a president from a section or sections
of the South.
When we took over SDP from the so-called Southern Progressives, because they thought they were they will overwhelm PF, but we overwhelmed them. We took over the party completely and anointed Babagana Kingibe as the first national chairman of the party and so on. That's how these people began to be close to each other. And when finally Obasanjo, Shehu, and so on supported interim national government and eventually its termination. That's where, to my mind, Obasanjo began to be very close to Shehu Yaradua. My closeness to Shehu Yaradua was what took me close to Obasanjo. And then something happened tragically, that Obasanjo and Shehu were both convicted of a coup. That in each case, death sentence, whatever it is. And that was virtually the beginning of the end in the case of Shehu, who died in prison. Obasanjo, after pressure from Wera Raba, got his own death sentence converted to life imprisonment. So, when Northerners were persuaded to support leadership in the South, there was a debate of how and who. And finally, I don't want to go into some of these tricky minor details, it was decided that somebody neutral, and I want to use this word neutral,
like Obasanjo,
should be. Well, we didn't know those who worked with him as military officers knew him.
Yeah.
We didn't know him.
Yeah.
They gave all sorts of reasons that the South would have it. But then those of us who were in G34 thought that it was going to be Ekweme, but they said no. Ekweme was a confederate.
Confederalist.
When we did a constitutional conference, their proposal was confederation for Nigeria. So they said we wouldn't support somebody with a confederate idea to be our president. And
so it's out of
so
that you became, yes.
They said somebody neutral. But that neutral, who would that be from the Southwest? Only the soldiers knew. And they said Obasanjo. And Obasanjo was already in prison. They brought him out. And it was from there that I began to be assigned to be close. I was the one assigned to sit with him when to declare he wants to run for president on his farm. While the others are all sitting behind, my elder Lord Kaita, Atiku, all were all sitting there. That's how we began to get close.
Did you resign from the government? What happened?
No. You see, when he became president, I was here at home. After winning election, I returned to Zaria. Wallahi. And he did not see me for weeks. Then he called my late emir, Shehu Idris. He said, "Where is Ango?" So the emir inquired, I was here. He called me and said, "President-elect has been looking for you. He has won his election. He should be setting up a government now. Why should we worry him?" So, "Well, he's looking for you. You go and see him." That's how I went to see Obasanjo. When I saw him, the defense house was full. Lobbyists, all over. Those who were abusing him to his face during the campaign and so on were all there lobbying. "Why did you go?" I said, "I was at home. We'll allow you to do your government." So, "Okay, well, I've called you to let you know you are the Minister of Agriculture." So, "Well, that is my trade. It's something that I think I could do. So go and prepare." So fine. I started preparing less than a week or two. I was again called to go and see him. Say, "Ango, I've been under pressure." Say, "What pressure?" That I've been, you people from northern Kaduna, lopsided appointments. I've appointed the Ruran Command Cabinet. Governor is a northerner. You are a northerner. Southern Kaduna has got nothing. Say, "Is that my business or yours?" Say, No. There was a lot of pressure. We knew the political pressure. I don't want to go into that detail. Say, "Would you agree to be my, because we're friends now, would you agree to be my special advisor? Because we remain close." I said, "No. If I cannot be your minister, I will not be your special advisor." I walked away. He applied a lot of pressure on my late emir. He said it would be a shame for him to start this government without me. And I have declined for... He can understand my refusal to be special advisor, because I told him he would be the minister.
So eventually you did it, and just for a few years.
No, eventually, yes. after a lot of pressure from my emir here, I said, okay, I'll go with him. And I didn't do any work, really. I was sitting there.
It's a friend, so it's not
as
really...
a friend and so on, doing very little. And sometimes we argue in meetings. One day I was at a meeting with the Americans, and I was arguing with him. Then he stopped the meeting. He pointed at me. He said, you know, that man is my personal friend. Outside we do a lot of friendly things together, but in the office we always quarrel. So then tell them why we were quarreling. In this particular case, I'm sure it's because of arguing. Then General Mohammed, who was Chief of Staff, said, well, okay. So left it there.
So you just spent 3 years?
No, just 3 years.
Yes.
And
because there wasn't much.
I found that I was just wasting my time because the things that I thought agriculture deserved. Even though my friend was the minister, Sani Zongondola allowed me to do anything.
Yeah.
But psychologically, politically, and everything, I didn't feel comfortable at all.
In 2019, you backed Atiku for president.
Yes.
Are you going to do the same again in 2023?
To do the same?
To back him?
No. No. The story is not like that.
Aha.
I took the brunt of doing what I had to do with others to dislodge Jonathan.
That's taking us to 2015.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So you are saying...
But it's important to go back to that because it was our decision that Jonathan was not treating the country evenly and fairly, especially the North. And secondly, there was a reneging of an agreement. I was part of it.
Yes.
We agreed that Obasanjo would be president for 8 years, and after Obasanjo, a northerner will replace him for another 8 years. And of course, he did his 8 years. Unfortunately, he almost wanted to go beyond that, but we stood against it and succeeded. And then he eventually brought my younger brother, Umar Yar'Adua. I call him my younger brother because of his brother. Initially we kicked because it didn't go through the normal process, but Sunday Oni, our leader, said, no. We have got what we want. We support Umar, we help him to work, and get on with the work of helping. And that's how it happened. Then Umaru died. 3 years, hardly 3 years in office. Under that gentleman's agreement, is there any need for an argument that the North will contest presidency in 2011? On the basis of that 8 years? Umaru did 3. Let's say we have to concede constitutionally the last 1 year. So 4 years, 2011, belong to the North. But these people said no. But these people included Northerners, especially governors, because they are the ones who did a lot of the betrayal in 2011 for the North not to get its right of place for president in 2011. They supported Jonathan. We did a consensus arrangement quickly to see whether we could challenge their position. We did. Eventually, Atiku emerged out of that consensus and contested. But the governors here, northerners, rallied round and defeated Atiku in favor of Jonathan. And that's the thing that really kept hurting us. And some of us decided that we should set up another organization to fight for the rights, political rights of the North. And this is what gave birth to Northern Elders Forum, for your information.
Yes. Okay.
When Tamasule became the leader, and I became the spokesman. So you see, this is what the vehicle we used to fight Jonathan's another ambition, illegal ambition, to contest the election in 2015. Because he was president when Umaru died, according to the constitution. He was president when he contested in 2011, second time. And then he wanted to be president 2015. He would have been president for 9 years, which is against the constitution. So those are the things we put together and said, no, we have to fight this one. But our position was simple, that Jonathan should not be, but a candidate of northern extraction, whether it's from Benue or wherever, should be supported.
Yeah. But by this you have strong logic. It seems that now that the shoe is on the other hand, you will support a southerner taking over from Buhari?
No.
After this 8 years?
No. The logic I still want to keep, or should still keep, is that from all indicators, Nigerians don't seem to be looking for the best material to look after their country. We are still on this platform of ethnicity, regionalism, even religious politics. If you notice the meeting of 17 governors recently in the south, these 17 governors come from 3 different political parties. So if it is politics, they shouldn't be sitting together to say that they want the presidency to go to the south, because some of them are APC, some are PDP, some are APGA. And yet they came together as a bloc. So that bloc is not political. It is ethno-regional. And this is why now the issue of power sharing based on regions and so on has already been demolished through the activities of what happened after Jonathan. So we are insisting now that the best candidate or the best material should be sought from wherever. If it happens to be the best material happens to come from the south, let it be. If the best material happens to come from the north, let it be. This is our position.
Okay.
It's an open.
Okay. Do you share General Babangida's idea that maybe we should leave it to the younger people in their 60s? This is something he said recently.
What age has something to do with it, I agree, in this case.
Yes.
If you offer me the president of Nigeria today,
yes,
I will politely and even vehemently decline. Because at the age of 83 going to 84, what business have I got to do with the president of Nigeria at this age? A president should be up and doing. I haven't got that muscle now. I haven't got those nerves now. Maybe part of my brain is still working. But no. So I agree with Babangida. But again, the qualification is not necessarily youth. Because the youth, our experiences with the youth, your age groups and so on, has been very disappointing. Because the crime you accuse elders or those who are old who are committing against the country are the crimes that you have been committing, either as governors or as chairman of council or as ministers or as commissioners. Just do the census, you find that if you go to local government, no chairman is more than 45 or thereabout. They are the one wrecking the local government. Go to the executive of state, you find that 45, 50, 55 people. So age may have little to do with it. Yeah. But I agree with him that we should scout for a range, within a range, and within this range of 50, 60, 65, we should be able to find the other complements of a good leadership. Strength of body, strength of mind, integrity, and so on. We should be able to. And so I support that position. And some people thought that Babangida did this to age out some people specifically. They mentioned people like Atiku and so on. Well, I supported Atiku in 2019 because there was an effort to find from among 9 or 10 of them contesting against Buhari. I was the one who interviewed each and every one of them, including Atiku himself. And they insisted that each one of them had already gotten the support of 100% support of Nigerians, and they therefore would want to be allowed to go for primaries. And of course, we had to allow them to go for primaries, and after the primaries, Atiku emerged. So what choice have I got? Is to come out and say Atiku who should be elected rather than Buhari. As far as we're concerned, our assessment as of that time and as of today, that Buhari had failed.
Yes. So how do you keep well at 83? I mean, do you have? How do you keep well at 83? You still? Do you have any particular regime that you follow?
Well, I look well.
You do?
Well, that is your assessment from a distance. But you haven't bothered to find out how do I feel inside.
Yes.
It is the same assessment or not?
I don't know.
Alhamdulillah, I've just returned from, not too long ago, from a medical checkup in Cairo for about 2-3 months. And maybe my early habits of being active, very active when I was younger, sports everywhere, football, soccer, everywhere, in Barewa College and after Barewa. And maybe also it's genetic.
Your father died.
My father died at the age of 100 years, but I've never seen him sit down to pray. But now I'm praying on a chair. So Alhamdulillah, we thank Almighty God for His mercies, and He gives life, He gives health, and we thank Him for His generous gift to us.
Well, thank you, Professor Ango Abdullahi, for putting up with this long interrogation
thank you very much.
Your life.
Thank you very much for offering it to me.
Yes, and, thank you, and we wish you more years ahead of active service to the country. And thank you, viewers, for joining us in another edition of Reminiscences, and we hope to see you another time.